Someone's got a tattoo problem.
Dayne Brajkovich, bikie enforcer, Muay Thai champion, basketball fan, Shields jewellery enthusiast, current affairs thought leader, and fashion tragic. Has been kicked out of the Hells Angels outlaw motorcycle gang, which is a problem for many reasons, not least of which is finding a new gang that shares the HAMC acronym.
Probably just easier to colour the whole lot in. So what happened?
The story's in Tuesday's West. The rumour is the gang expelled Dayne because he didn't want them associating with other clubs, which is weird because a year ago Dayne had no problem with this happening. That's him at the funeral of Club Darrow member Robert Bubba Walker. Dayne paid his respects shoulder to shoulder with coffin cheaters, gypsy jokers, outlaws, nomads and God's garbage members.
Yeah, but that's a funeral.
I know, and they let bygones be bygones when one of them goes to God. Or the other place. Word is Dayne got the shits with Hells Angels members hanging out with other clubs at parties and whatnot. There was a poolside gathering with rebels at Scarborough. The cops broke that one up, didn't like cats being on show. Being a teetotaler, maybe Dayne was pissed he wasn't invited.
Can I come too?
Apparently there was a recent gathering in Kalgoorlie with rebels and gypsy jokers that got under his skin. So he laid down the law to his fellow gang members, who told him to go and get and expelled him from the gang.
Someone drew the short straw. How do you kick out a bloke like that?
Well, it's not done by a cease and desist order from the lawyer.
It's not you, it's me.
If you're expelled from a club, it's usually done violently. When the coffin cheaters found out that Troy McCanty had got the Comancheros offside, they lured him to a goat farm in Moore River on the pretence of celebrating his 10 years with the club. In actual fact, they were there to beat the shit out of him and kick him out of the gang. I don't know the circumstances of Brajkovich's departure, but it would have been a willing affair. The guy's got the word hate tattooed on his face. This is Dayne before he got tats and massive. He's in the blue shorts.
Certainly one of the up-and-coming WA fighters.
He put Nick Martin on his arse in that fight at the Sandbar and didn't flinch when his home in Ascot was sprayed with bullets a few months later.
So what happens to Dayne now?
He'll probably join another gang. Rock Machine have a chapter in Perth, that'd be interesting, because the Mongols put a kill order on Rock Machine member Derek Joshua Yardley after he shot up a Mongol's home last March. These guys make so many enemies they can't survive alone. They need the protection of a gang. The people they have slighted previously have to know that exacting revenge will come at a high price.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is, you can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
The question is, what will the Hells Angels do if Dayne does join another gang? 10 years ago when McCanty joined the Finks after being booted out of the Cheaters, it was all-out war. 10 years before that, when Kevin Mad Mick Woodhouse defected from the Derros to the Cheaters, there was a year-long battle and blood on the streets. Things have changed since then. They don't seem to hold these grudges as long anymore. McCanty went from Fink to Mongol and likes hanging out with rebels, even though a run-in with rebels at a pub in the southwest was rumoured to be the reason his house in Duncraig was firebombed all those years ago. David Pye, the guy accused of orchestrating the murder of Nick Martin, was a rebel before he became a Comanchero and is now one of McCanty's Mongols. The rule is if you bring in money, a club will take you on. If someone does pick Dayne up, they're going to have to hope the Hells Angels forgive and forget. When a Canadian bikie called Salvatore Cazzetta cut ties with the Angels and formed the Rock Machine gang in Quebec, 160 people died. All it takes is one idiot to lose his cool and all hell could break loose.
Speaking of angry hordes, the Armadale line's going to be down.
You're expecting me to say it's a good thing to have Armadale cut off from everyone. Labor's been working on Metronet now for 10 years. It unveiled this thing at the 2013 election and had it brewing a long time before then. So why does it feel like they're making this up as they go? The line to Armadale is going to be down for a year and a half. We have just found out. The government is now surveying people in Armadale to determine their preferred alternative method of transport. Metronet. We were all seduced by this vision of the future in 2013.
Well, sir, there's nothing on earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified 6-car monorail.
By 2017, we had all drunk the Kool-Aid. The map they put out made Perth look a little bit like London, but instead of popping up at Leicester Square to see a West End show, we'd pop up in Maylands and get attacked by a meth zombie. As opposition leader Mark McGowan told us, the whole Metronet project was going to cost $3.8 billion, which back then was so much money he was scrapping other projects to pay for it. No stadium at Burswood, for example. No new museum. Now we're being told it's $2 billion just for the Armadale part. You'd want butlers pushing Dom through carriages for that. I don't know what the whole thing's going to end up costing, but I reckon the Liberals' Troy Buswell underestimated it in 2013 when he said Labor's Metronet would cost taxpayers $6.4 billion.
$1 billion would get us a new kids' hospital.
Yeah, in Armadale. We built the Mandurah train line for $17 million per kilometre. That included a tunnel under the CBD, bridges, overpasses, the whole shebang. Labor reckon Metronet would be $51 million per kilometre, and those estimates are years old. God knows what it's going to end up costing now. McGowan's acting like Naughty Don Rogers.
This is Naughty Don, and I'm going mad with money.
Mike Cannon-Brookes is going mad with money.
You're the only person old enough to know who Naughty Don Rogers is.
Thank you.
Mike is about to work out that the easiest way to make a small fortune is take a big fortune and invest it in something you know nothing about. His company Atlassian made him one of Australia's richest people, and he's going to plough a lot of that cash into buying a 180-year-old electricity company called AGL. He's joining forces with Canadian infrastructure fund Brookfield to turn AGL, which is Australia's biggest polluter, green. He offered $8 billion for the company as part of a bid that would see it go net zero by 2035. That's 12 years ahead of schedule and would also create 10,000 jobs, most of which will be at Centrelink to meet demand from all the coal miners who are out of work. Now, Mike's got two problems here. The first is the board of AGL. They rejected his $7.50 a share offer as being too low. The second is the federal government, which could veto the takeover on the grounds that turning AGL green that fast could see the lights go out.
Let me be really clear about something. We need to ensure that our coal-fired generation of electricity runs to its life.
Huge gamble.
At least he's putting his money where his mouth is. Bit like Twiggy with green hydrogen. It's not all talk. Cannon-Brookes bagged ScoMo's plan to get to net zero by 2050. The tech billionaire first tweeted, "No plan, just more bullshit," before doubling down in a second tweet in which he called the plan ridiculously embarrassing. Now, it's not Cannon-Brookes' first foray into the business of climate change. He's what's known as an angel investor.
Everyone needs an angel every now and again.
Not everyone. I'm Ben Harvey. For more update, click the subscribe button below.